So where do thoughts come from? This might be something you're asking yourself. It's definitely something I was asking myself years ago as I couldn't control my head, control my thoughts. I couldn't control the negative or the unwanted thoughts I was having. They felt intrusive. It felt like I couldn't control my mind and I couldn't get to my goals. I didn't have the clarity. I didn't have the momentum. I didn't have the motivation because there's so much noise going on upstairs. And you've probably seen in my website or in my content where I talk about the energetics and how the energy work is the level where we need to work at. So my name is Andre, and for years I've been studying and doing this energy work on myself. I've been coaching others, and I am fascinated by working at the level of energy and what that does for the human body and mind and psyche. So think of it this way. If our thoughts come from, there's a couple places where people think our thoughts come from. One is, well, they're just in my mind, they're in my head, and I have them, and so, I have a thought, it's me. Well, one of the first things I learned on my journey was that I am not my thoughts. And I don't have to believe all of the thoughts that I have. And so if I'm not them and I don't have to believe them, that means not all of them, but some of them are not mine. They just came from somewhere. So where did they come from? There's kind of two places I can see, what I have seen people say where they come from. One is the universe, the ether out there. They kind of came to me from some source, some download that I got. The other one is, well, it came from somewhere in the body. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is most of the data going through our nervous system, especially across the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body, goes to the brain rather than from the brain. So it comes from within the body upwards to the brain. So you can really think of your gut and your body as your first brain, and you can think of your head brain as your second brain. So if that's the case, and we kind of know this, we know there's science behind the power of the gut and the gut-brain connection and all of that. So if that is the case, then we want to do the work where most of that data is coming from. So if that data is coming from here going upwards, then it's something in our body that could be potentially driving the thoughts that we're having, especially the ones we don't want to be having, or that get in the way, or that hold us back, or that keep us stuck. So if it's data that's coming from the gut or from the body, not necessarily the gut, to the brain, how does that data travel? Well, across the nervous system and through the fascia of our fascia matrix throughout our entire body, energy is what's traveling through those places, through the nerves, through the fascia, and through everything. Words are hard, sorry. So, it makes sense then that if we work at the level of energy, which is the data that is being transmitted from the body to the brain, then we're working at the root cause. We're working at the lowest level that we can. And that's what's fascinating to me. I have seen so many things over the years in the world of energy work that is not woo-woo at all. It's very practical. And I'm just fascinated. It blows my mind. I want to dial this down and distill this down into simple, practical tools that you can use to better your life and become the best version of you that you envision for yourself. And that's what I've done. It's still being finessed. This stuff is going to grow, right? The field of energy is only becoming more known and more known. So I would love for you to be a part of this and see what this work can do for you. I call it MindWorks. Don't worry about the name, but it's that theory that if the data is really coming bottom up and it's energy that is the transmission, the medium of transmission from the body to the brain, then we can release that energy. Or let me put it this way. If we can release that energy that is stuck, that is bound somewhere, right, legs included, legs, gut, belly, who cares where? It's somewhere down here. If we can release that, it's going to start to change this. And my answer is that we can, that it's possible. So that's where I think thoughts come from. You let me know. Give me a like, subscribe, Drop a comment below on what your thoughts are on where thoughts come from. And if anything, let's just have a conversation. I'll see you.